Alrighty, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to week 5, day number 9 of the CCS. My name is Talon, and I'm here joined by Emzo. Emzo, how are you doing on this Friday night?
Doing great, man. Looking forward to this game. Team that we're just seeing kind of for the first time versus a team we've seen some great stuff from. So I expect some good things, although a bit more, let's be honest, from Ferocity. But the unknown is the unknown, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. I mean, again, you're saying we have a new team. We have Unbroken versus Ferocity. That's going to be our first matchup today. Should start in a few minutes. So, as you're saying, we haven't seen Unbroken at all. They just took their place of what was Guilty. Now it is made of members of Guilty, so it's kind of a weird situation. But let's go ahead. Let's get right into the lineup. Let's see what Ferocity is going to be facing. So here you now have on screen Unbroken. It's going to be 9, Mailman, Wraith, Potato, and Skadoosh. Now, 4 of the 5 were on Guilty. The newest member of the inclusion, I believe, is Skadoosh. Have we seen Skadoosh in the scene at all?
You know, I'm not too familiar with them. I mean, I've heard the name a little bit, but definitely a little bit more of an unknown. Should be interesting to see. I interviewed the Unbroken guys a bit before the game, and they were told me they were just hoping to at least get a good 10-1 in there. So
oh yeah, that's
not get 20-0'd.
Not get 20. That'd be good. That's actually pretty funny, actually. Well, I do actually know that Skadoosh has played on some like Go 4 teams, nothing like too crazy. He hasn't really gotten up high even in the tournament, so it's yet to be seen if he's kind of like up there in terms of players. But I guess we'll be seeing his debut tonight. Other than that, I do think the rest of the lineup is fairly strong. So with that, let's go ahead and let's get into the Ferocity lineup. So on Ferocity eSports, we have King Leo, Dave, Santa, Trippin, and of course Moss. These 5 I think are pretty solid. What do you think about them?
Yeah, definitely very solid. I mean, I'm not sure Thinking Nade was playing with them last time. I don't remember if he was playing, because I think they have 6 people. But they are a very strong team, especially with Moss in there. Definitely a strong team coming in. He kind of bounced over to Most Wanted for a minute, but that didn't last long. But obviously this is a Pro League caliber team, so it should be a Pro League caliber match, at least from their side.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, with Ferocity being in Pro League now, I believe we also just recently got another pro team in the league. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the current standings. So this is your current standings. Of course, at the top is Ferocity, but if you look all the way towards down at the bottom, we have Omen, previously known as Lunatic. What can you say about them?
They haven't really changed their roster at all, which is surprising considering most of the teams have changed up at least a little bit. But they are a fairly strong team. I mean, they struggled a little bit sometimes in Challenger League, but I think hopefully they've been practicing and got their act together because they are going to Pro League. Lunatic is not a name that's unfamiliar to Pro League, but now they are not Lunatic anymore. So it's the first time we're seeing Omen there, at least as an org.
Yeah, so they will be starting, unfortunately, since they are, I forgot who they're taking the place of Relentless. So they will be starting down. They're on the back foot 0-3, so they have a bit of catching up to do. But if they are indeed Pro League team, then they should be able to catch up, no problem. So we'll hopefully we'll see some good things from them. But so that's going to be your lineup. Now, we do not have a live band feed, but we do have the bands. The teams have created them a little bit ahead of schedule, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up. So the bands, Ferocity took out Consulate, then Unbroken responded with Oregon. Next up, Ferocity got Coastline, Unbroken Border, Ferocity Skyscraper, Unbroken Clubhouse, and then Ferocity's first pick was Chalet, Unbroken's pick was Cafe, and then the tie-breaking map will be Bank. Now, I'm looking at these bands. Looks like Unbroken is kind of purposely targeting those meta maps. All those maps that I think that Ferocity plays quite a bit. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what you want to do. I mean, hopefully they took it to the map that they wanted to play and not just trying to counterban. But, I mean, this game has proven to be one of the games where maps really matter. It's not like a DE Dust kind of constant matchup. your skills really shine on particular maps, not just in strats, but also in what kind of supports your team style of play. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Ferocity have a pretty good map pool. Question is, what is Unbroken actually good at?
Yeah, of course, no one knows what Unbroken is good at. Honestly,
Hopefully we'll find out today.
well, I'm looking at the maps we're going to play. So first up, we're going to be playing Chalet, then Cafe, and then if it comes down to it, we're going to have to play Border. Now, if I had to pick for any of these two maps for Unbroken to win, it's going to be, Cafe, honestly. I feel like
That one you can pug a little bit more, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but on Chalet, if you lose just that little bit of like teamwork that you really need, it's going to really fall apart quite quickly. But that can be said about a lot of maps. So unfortunately, I don't think Unbroken is in the situation they want to be in. But either way, I think they're still going to do their best. I was talking to them a little bit earlier before the match, and I asked them, "Do you guys have any practice under your belt?" And they're like, "Well, we played 2 scrims last night." And that was the extent of their practice. So This is definitely going to be interesting.
I know Patat's a bit of a player to watch out for, like who's pretty good, can be pretty nutty sometimes. Not as familiar with some of the other guys. Wraith can be pretty good sometimes as well, but I just don't know the other 3 as well because I don't really recall how Guilty was playing. But I do expect to see some good things from Potato today.
Yes, indeed. So if these players are ready to go, we're going to go ahead and ask if both teams are ready. We do have all 10 in the lobby. And hopefully they will respond with a yes. And if so, we will go get this match right underway. I think this is going to be like hopefully the quickest start from both these teams. So here we go. Going to go ahead and bring it up for you guys. There you are.
At least they're asking nicely for that one round. So thoughtful.
Alrighty. So Ferocity going to be starting on attack, Unbroken on defense. Looks like they will be going Trophy Kitchen. Nothing too crazy. Ferocity has called it though, bringing a fuse.
Should be interesting to see if he's able to get his fuse charges off. It's a pretty powerful thing to do, but you really got to have the people there to follow it up. It's not like free kills, but the dining room is a big, massive place with only a few hiding spots. So strategically placed fuse charges are pretty nice in that attack.
That's
Although
true.
It is up to RNGesus, though, whether or not those get any kills.
Now, looking at this lineup, now I see that they're bringing a Doc. Now, where do you think that Doc... Is that Doc going to be played, like, in Trophy? Is he going to be on the roam? Is he going to be playing in Dining? Like, where's the best place to be putting him?
I mean, I think he's probably better on site, but sometimes people want to play a Doc on roam, or at least, like, maybe to help defend the upstairs, because he can stay alive a bit longer, assuming he doesn't get headshotted. So we could see that potentially, but he is at least bringing out the shield to cover that... drone hole, which is nice. I mean, that's something that's fallen out of favor, but I think is worth doing because a lot of people just forget about that drone hole. I mean, we don't have Glaz in play, though, at least, because that was really making that drone hole especially brutal. But it's still worth doing here, but at least he's setting up for downstairs. Not sure if he's going to rotate up or not.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Now, I'm looking also at the attackers. They don't have a buck, which tells me they're not really going to be going from underneath. So do you think we're going to be seeing, like, a dining attack?
Oh no, they did bring a buck, but yeah, we'll probably see a dining attack,
yes.
but starting from the top, like with the fuse and the buck. Now they have the Blackbeard, so it could be there, for example, to play the kitchen window, peak trophy window, things like that. But I'd still like to see them maybe take a little bit of West Lobby. Looks like Moss is going to here.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I was actually thinking, maybe get a buck underneath. But I know a lot of teams have also been, once they take that top control, they have that fuse and that buck, push all these players around and dining towards this Blackbeard. I'm not sure what Blackbeard's over to right now. Looks like he's just going to go and help take up stairs. But there's definitely 2 different options, or 2 really favorable ways that I think we've been seeing attackers play it. But with no roamers here, I think it's going to be pretty quickly that it looks like Unbroken's just like, nope, you can have it. And I think that's honestly a mistake, don't you think?
Yeah, with Fuse in play, you definitely don't want to turtle up on site as much. You need the roamers there to be able to stop Fuse, maybe stop the buck. But without that, yeah, it's just going to be freebies here, unless they can counter, like somehow manage to land those shots.
Dave actually is talking about landing shots. Looks like mail goes right on down to Dave. That's going to be the first pick of the series. Already a minute in. That's a little interesting. Not sure why was he over on those stairs, just kind of chilling out, talking about Dave. He just gets another one. That's going to be Potato. Potato was, I believe, I don't even know. It could have been a pulse on site or something. Here comes out the fuses. There is no Blackbeard at kitchen window, though, to really punish this. Wraith is able to pick out Trippin. That's going to be the Habana down. brings it to a 4-on-3. Now, Unbroken is really heavily playing downstairs instead of upstairs. So they would have really countered a big garage push, but that we will not see. King Leo is able to pick up 9. Skadoosh is the only one playing in B. Thinking Nate is now on the kitchen window, ready to kind of punish anything that's going on. Wraith is now deciding to rotate all the way up. This could be well-timed, honestly. King Leo might not be expecting a person pushing over from Library. Here it comes. King Leo almost gets taken out by Wraith. Not quite going to have it, though. Dave on his triple kill right now is able to punish him for it. It's all up to Skadoosh. He's going to get taken out by Thinking Nate on the Blackbeard at trophy window. That's going to be round number 1 for Ferocity.
Dave on a rampage that round with that AK-47, I could say. Like, surprised to see. I mean, not that the AK-47 is bad, but you don't usually see him fragging that well. Although that was just kind of a little bit of slow reaction on that buck. Had he got the buck, you know, at least it would have been worth it. So it was unfortunate. All he did was manage to wound him before he dropped. So maybe next time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see. You know, unfortunately, I think if Wraith was able to pick out King Leo and then rotate down into Dining, I think that would have been kind of like a turning point. But who knows? Unfortunately, we can't go back. We can't replay it. Maybe if Unbroken decides to pick the site again, we could see something a little bit similar. But I'd like to have seen them play a little bit more upstairs. I think they went like either 2 or 3 man in basement when really all the action is supposed to be happening upstairs there. So definitely disagree with that. Now, interesting little pick here from Ferocity. They're going basement first. I'm not sure if Unbroken's going to be ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they have a similar lineup to attack perhaps the top floor. I don't know if Buck's going to be as useful on this attack. Not that he's useless, but definitely not nearly as strong as when they're attacking Trophy. So it could be a situation where there was a better pick, I guess, in this, because it looks like they were more prepared to attack the same site. So
yeah, I agree.
At least they have a Thatcher, but the Habana's not going to do a great job getting a lot of the stuff open without the Thermite. Plays well to open the garage.
Yeah, we'll have to see now. They do, of course, have that Mira, so if they do end up opening that garage, and they don't have a Thermite, so they would have to use a Habano. So this kind of tells me they're going to be forced over towards Big Garage. You know, really abuse that Blackbeard as much as possible, but we do have some bandit charges around. Dave almost gets picked off immediately by Potato. Great job from him.
Good revenge.
That's something that Unbroken definitely needed to have happen. Thinking Nate is currently just kind of chilling out on the Habana wall, or on the mirror wall, excuse me, trying to just get some pickbacks. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Now, there is a Thatcher, so all these batteries, you know, really aren't going to make a difference. I think this is a good start for them.
Here we go. Now we know where the Habana is going to potentially be used. There we go.
This could push Thinking Nate outside of this closet. That, or Thinking Nate just decides to aggress it. Looks like he will be trying to aggress it, but can he punish anyone for peeking? Here comes Wraith. Thinking Nate will be able to pick off Wraith. What a great job from him. Here comes Thinking Nate going wide, leaving the closet. They do realize now that he has left closet. They could decide to fully open it up, or they can decide to open up a wall facing for Blackbeard. Not sure what Blackbeard is up to. Usually people are going to open up that wall next to the shield, so that way they can get an angle all the way into sight, but we have not seen that yet. Looks like Mail is inside of Big Garage, but they have yet to use the Habanas to really open that very, very important angle up, I feel like. So I think they just opened up a second hole, into closet. So they now have one way, but remember, you cannot plant in closet, so they definitely need a second way or something to get in. Looks like Potato goes right in, doesn't realize Thinking Nate is in there. However, Trippinade's actually the one to pick him up. Trippin goes down, but here comes Skadoosh taking out Thinking Nate. He's in the closet. Comes around, not going to find anyone in the corner. They do realize they did down Trippin inside a closet. He just barely got away with his life. King Leo was trying to find the way out. They realize now they cannot plant in there, but Moss is right above, so if they go and try to plant in the default spot, Moss is going to be able to prevent that. So King Leo and Trippin both inside of Connector. It's going to be up to 9, trying to find Moss. He does find Moss. That opens up the ability for them to plant in the default spot. Meanwhile, we have King Leo and Trippin now both back up and on their feet, but Skadoosh is able to pick out King Leo. It's now all up to Trippin in a 1v2. Skadoosh is now planting behind the reinforcement. Here comes Trippin pushing up, trying to look for the planter. Gets one. 9 is above the hatch, unable to save him. Going to go ahead and drop down. This Mira is still in position. He will get the pre-fire. Trippin with the clutch.
Definitely a little bit better play that time by Unbroken, but you know, mistakes were made. They really weren't taking full advantage of that Habana, for example. They got the wall open, but focusing more on being able to get in the wall, then being able to actually use the other walls with the Blackbeard, like you were mentioning, definitely a big deal there in terms of not getting the angles they needed and thinking just being able to sit there. Then all the roamers. I mean, there was a nice pick by 9 in the dining room, though, when he should have probably lost that fight. But overall, still a little bit of strategic weakness there in some of that attack. At least they won a little more of their gunfights than they had before.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think it really did come down to two things. One, not opening up the wall for Blackbeard to peek from Big Garage. I feel like if they had done that, that would have really opened up a lot of different angles to be able to cover for a plant. You know, if Blackbeard was still alive in those in that last 1v2, I think that he would have been able to stop Trippin from just pushing up, you know, as he did. Now, I think the second big mistake they did is 9 stayed above the hatch when he took Moss out. I feel like if he had dropped down and then covered, I believe it was Skadoosh planting. If there was that cover there, that would have really made a big difference in terms of being able to get that plant off, because Skadoosh was, of course, undefended, really. I mean, 9 was above the hatch, but can't get that angle like they needed to.
Yeah, they really needed to, even if he'd been able to play outside the door, that would have been enough of an angle to at least slow down that corner push that he did. Ooh, there goes thinking.
We're thinking. We'll see if they decide to rehost or not. I believe they probably will. It is within 15 seconds, so I believe we will be seeing a rehost if Ferocity.
Hopefully they're brave enough not to. No, don't do a rehost. Let's just see them. Tough it out. Give them a chance.
Ferocity, you got it. Yeah, see, they're just saying.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. True pros.
There you go. So that's pretty good confidence. I'm wondering if that's going to say or tell Unbroken, hey guys, we're pretty confident against you. And you know what is Unbroken? Honestly, think about that. I mean,
yeah, is that BM or sportsmanship? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I feel like it can be a little bit of both. Moss is currently trying to hunt down Wraith. He's not going to be able to find him. Now, he actually is still pretty close. Surprisingly, he hasn't ran out. Wraith goes for the peek. Not going to be able to find and connect with Moss. Moss pushes up and punishes him for it. Gets one. Potato gets another traded by Moss. He was from Master. He currently gets droned out. Here comes up Trippin. He gets him. It's been 1-for-1 trades so far. Now a 3-on-3 situation. That was pretty quick, especially for the downstairs site.
Yeah, it was good trades backs by the defenders at least. I mean, losing the Jaeger, not a big deal. He's going to be your... Losing the Pulse is a little bit sucky because it is nicer when he can rotate back the site and provide intel on the push. But hey, still, again, a one-to-one trade, like on the Ash especially, it's good to do on there at the beginning. Take out some of their aggression. But they still have some utility left here with Tabana and Fuse. And then Buck could do a little bit, I guess. But he's not going to be, again, super useful on this attack. Could open up some of the fireplace floor if they're able to keep it secured, though.
Yeah, and you notice, you know, they did bring that Buck, but Unbroken did decide to go downstairs, so they weren't quite ready for this. Speaking of not ready for this, here comes 9. I don't think that King Leo knows. He's holding his bullets. I love this. He's going to find King Leo, takes him out. Will he find another? No, he decides not to peek. This is so smart of him. He's going to go and rotate right back down, takes one. And look, here's Dave. He's just waiting for him, but he's not going to be able to find him. 9 in the meantime has rotated all the way back up. Not going to find anyone over towards Master. He just needs to look down. He might be able to catch Dave off guard. The angles are there. The angles are there. He sees Dave, but he's not able to get the shots over the rim. He jumps over. He gets Dave. What a great shot. Now it's all of a sudden. This is going to be a great round so far for Unbroken. It's all up to Trippin. Trippin takes some bullets. Whoa, what a great flick from him. Able to take out 9. Brings it to a 2-on-1 in favor still of Unbroken. Remember, this round did start in a 4v5, so Ferocity, if they had that extra man, it would be a 2-on-2, but we are in a 1v2. So I still think that Ferocity has a chance here, depending on how well Unbroken is able to trade. Now, they know where he's coming from. They just put a smoke grenade down. I think it fell a little bit short. There's the one that they needed. He almost got killed. Skadoosh was able to pick up Trippin as he sprints across the site. I think, fortunately, he decided to sprint a little bit much. Yeah, that first smoke grenade definitely landed a little bit short.
Second one, though, nicely placed.
Yeah, it definitely took down some of that damage that they needed to, that's for sure.
Important part was it forced him to run right into the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So nicely done. I mean, yeah, there was a 4v5 advantage in Unbroken's favor, but hey, there's their point. Now they can get with their 10-1. So they're golden now for the rest. So good for them.
So, of course, Thinking Aid is now back. They will be in Trophy and Kitchen Room, back to what is considered the normal site. Nothing too crazy on both teams' operator lineups, unless you see anything that I don't.
No, nothing expected. They're definitely seeing a lot of bucks, though, regardless of the site. Like, it seems to be in favor. Nice to see a Pulse again here as well. I mean, I think Pulse is good on this defense just because you know you're going to be fighting potentially people upstairs, and knowing exactly where they're at makes those C4s work. It also makes it so you can better position yourself downstairs so that you don't get killed. So I think it's a good pick usually.
Yeah, so now it's going to be up to Unbroken. This is the first time we're going to see Unbroken on this attack. Either way, it is 2-1, so if Unbroken wins this round, I feel like they'll put him in a good position to really challenge this map. Whereas Ferocity, I don't think really kind of expected that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see.
See what they're going to do here. Oh, the Potato looking for a free kill there at the beginning.
Yeah, Trippin just not quite able to find that angle. See, I feel like this would be almost the perfect position. If they were able to buck Trippin right there from underneath,
yeah,
maybe get a free kill from Mail, I think that would be a really, really good situation for them to be in. But they just won't be able to do it, I don't think, since they are going upstairs. But we won't be seeing a fuse, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue.
well, they definitely at least still have the buck to do some damage from above. But yeah, like you said, without the fuse, they're not going to be able to. King Leo actually holding a nice far side there, knowing that they're going to be pushing back. He's going to hold Library, hoping to come in much later if they don't clear properly, which obviously they didn't if he's still sitting up here.
Well, they did actually end up droning him, so they do realize that he is in here, but I don't think that there's anyone nearby to really aggress him, which is honestly not even that much of a bad thing. You know, you can leave these two guys over here, do what you need to, but just as long as you're careful about it. See, I think they know Moss is up here too. Very interesting shield placement. We have yet to really see something like that. That's pretty unique, I feel like, but can get easily punished if they just decide to ash that shield.
Yeah. We don't usually see a lot of that because there's too many other things that need ashing, though. Ooh.
Yeah, see, Wraith trying to hold it down, but he's not able to. He actually takes about half HP. Still about 1:20. No kills yet. Just a little bit of damage. Just, or I spoke a little bit just too soon. Moss is able to pick up Potato as he pushes a little bit way too aggressive up into the hallway. Wraith is less than 25 HP. K9 able to pick up Dave, brings it back to a 4-on-4. Man, just taking some bullets onto his shield, so he's going to go and put a new one on. So we've got Trippin just inside of Trophy all by himself. Mail's trying to keep him down and in there. Not too much pressure being applied otherwise. Here comes 9 for the peak. Wow, great crosshair placement by King Leo, able to pick up 9 just outside of Office. All the way laying down in Library. What a great shot from him. Moss and King Leo still upstairs. Again, here goes Wraith. He gets down by something. Not exactly sure how he got down, so that's going to bring it to, I believe, a 2-on-4, unless they're able to get him back up. Here goes Moss going down the stairs, not being able to get killed by Skadoosh. Skadoosh is able just to shoot him up and leave him. Moss is on deadly low HP, but the clock is ticking. There goes down Skadoosh. King Leo decides, all right, it's finally time to push up. Brings it to a 4-on-1. Right as I say that, thinking Nade is able to pick up Mail.
I definitely liked the way that defense worked out. They knew how to hold that Library really well. Well,
wow, what a
that RP sensor.
Great,
but no, it worked out for them really well. I mean, that shield placement was kind of weird, but he stayed alive quite well there, and then also had the support of King Leo for the longer range fights. So I mean, it just really, really worked out, and they just were slowly picking apart the attack as it came, and the attack didn't seem to know how to handle that, and that's what I mean. Like leaving the Library side like that was definitely a problem. Yeah, they droned them out and tried to leave them there, but that's exactly why it didn't work out, because leaving them there is what got most of their attackers killed.
Yeah, sure. I believe Wraith, who else? Wraith, Skadoosh, and 9 all got taken out from either King Leo or Moss. So that's 3 people that all got lost down to that roam. So I feel like I'm gonna have to agree with you in this instance, where I feel like if they definitely push from that Library, or at least just try to push them out, not even kill them, but just push King Leo and Moss out of there, I think they would have been in a lot better position. Or, you know, even just try to push Moss out from behind that shield. You know, you take that shield out of play, that forces that Valkyrie to, you know, kind of play in like a certain small area that, you know, you could even more easily pick down with grenades. So
at the very least, I would have loved to just open the windows behind them, force them to be concerned about their backs.
You know, that's true. Even the threat of being peeked can do big things, including pushing them out. So they don't even have to aggress really. So Definitely a good point there.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers
We'll see how they can defend this against this attack. I mean, they got the fuse though, which the other guys at Unbroken had failed to bring. So, oh yeah, Moss concerned, that's for sure.
So this is going to be the second time we've seen Unbroken on this site. First time didn't really work out too well. Thinking Nade, same exact thing, going upstairs, just trying to clear out any roam. I don't believe there is a roam upstairs though. Oh wait, excuse me, yes there is. Potato is also in there. Excuse me, this is a heavy room. So is Wraith. Wraith also came on up. Looks like Mailman is also over in Library, so this is a 3-man upstairs sort of push. Moss just takes a little bit of a piece just out of Mailman. They're just going to trade and go right on back. Wraith is going to get blinded. He's going to take out Thinking Nade. Thinking Nade also takes out Potato. Moss is finally taken back by Mailman, so that's a 2-for-1. So here comes Thinking Nade. He's going to push up, going to be trying to find Mailman. Right as I say that, Dave on the other side is able to pick him up. This is not looking good. 4-on-2 in favor of Ferocity on the attack. Thinking Nade doing some really heavy fragging that round.
Definitely looking good for Ferocity here. They've got their most important attackers still left.
And here comes the fuses, just to make things worse.
That's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on them there to get mobile. Although I think they're both off-site. So.
Exactly his first round. King Leo drops, but this time 9 just missed the timing there right as he comes on up. And it's Kadoosh back inside of Trophy now. Smoke, he only has 1 smoke grenade left with 1:14. He's going to throw his very last one. Thinking Nade's going to go and push off and wait for that. Dave comes on up into West Main. Not going to, or just barely escape the bullets. King Leo picks up 9. All of a sudden, it's Kadoosh on 4 again. This is the same exact situation we saw the first time they were in this site. The plant is going down. King Leo has Kadoosh pinned in a corner. Thinking Nade also has him. If he goes for this peek, I feel like he's going to get his head taken off no matter what he does. It's not looking good for him. With King Leo and Thinking Nade are both low, so to his credit, he could definitely pull something off. He takes more and more down. There you go. Skadoosh finally picks up King Leo after a little bit of a peak battle for about a quarter of the diffuser times, but now it's all up to Thinking Nade on that window and try to do something. Skadoosh says, nope, sorry, I'm not holding that. Dave takes another chunk out of Skadoosh as he pushes on out. A little bit of trading back and forth in terms of damage. He goes out, goes for the wide peak on the Blackbird, runs out of ammo. Thinking Nade finally picking up Skadoosh. Great job from Thinking Nade. Able to pick up, I believe, 3? Maybe 3 or 4. Great job from him.
Yeah. I feel like Skadoosh at least put up a good fight there at the end. But yeah, they lost way too many people too early on. Didn't kill any of the important attackers, really. And they didn't have anything to play with left at that round. So hopefully they can at least pick up one more round as it is match point. So if they don't win any more, then it's on to the next map.
Well, they did get their one round. Yeah.
Well, they're bringing out Caveira, so I don't know if that's a we're on match point. We could try something different, kind of thing, or what? Here, we'll see if Moss can get. If anyone's gonna do it, though, I believe in Moss. Maybe he'll even get an interrogate for fun.
Yeah, that would be pretty nutty. Just stick Moss up in bathroom or something like that, and just see, there he goes. Is he gonna go right on up? That's the question. I feel like if he needs to do it, he just needs to run up right now. Just not even reinforce anything. Just go up and hide.
Yeah. Why not?
He doesn't know what he's doing, though. He's just kind of chilling. There he goes. Finally on the reinforcement. Looks like Skadoosh's drone should see this now. He saw something, but he doesn't know that it's a Caveira yet. I feel like once they realize that it's a Cav, their droning might be a little bit different. So we'll see. So Skadoosh did now see the Cav. So did Mailman. They should know where he is, because 9 is now upstairs as well on his drone. There's been 3 drones now. Yeah, see, they know she's up here. That's funny. Right as I say on bathroom, there goes Moss running into bathroom, but then returning all the way back. This could be a good little bit of a mind game situation. But here comes up King Leo too. Now, do you think it's worth pushing Moss and King Leo up here? Do you just say, nah, they're all the way downstairs, just cover the flanks?
I don't know. I mean, I guess they're 2 floors up, so you don't necessarily need to push them right away, because they're gonna eventually have to come back towards site. You're in a way, you're going to bait them towards site by attacking it, right? Because they have to rotate back eventually. But you really need to be aware of where they're going to push in from, and need to be ready to cut that off. If you start losing too many people, though, it's going to be hard for you to hold enough angles to properly do that. So, I don't know. It's a tricky situation because those are both going to be hard people to kill.
Yeah, especially, not sure where Moss is currently at right now, but he's just doing some cam work while King Leo looks like is going to be doing most of the fragging until later in the round. You know, it seems to me, it looks like Unbroken just says, all right, well, we're not going to really deal with this, honestly. There's Moss. He's sitting on main stairs right now. Yeah, it looks like Unbroken is just going to be going in for all the opening ups, open
Yeah,
everything
looks
up, do what we
familiar.
need to do.
Now, see, they saved Hibana this time. They used Thermite instead. The question is Hibana going to open up those angles last time that Blackbeard needs right there? Ooh, Thinking Aid, though, punishes them.
Yeah.
There's no more Hibana after all.
Right as we say, you know, hey, yeah, they brought both of them just like they should have. You know, there goes Zabana to a C4. Not sure why he was so close, though. That seems kind of interesting to me, especially seeing, you know, there's a lot of different angles that they need to be opening up. There's a bunch of mirrors that need to be opened up. There's a lot of uses that Hibana should have been doing, but then all of a sudden she was in that hallway to get C4. Seems a little interesting positioning to me.
Yeah, I don't know why Hibana would be playing there at all. Like, that was definitely a
Ooh, there's
mistake.
Moss picking up Potato. Here comes
Yep.
the Cav.
Cannot trust these. Moss and King Leo being alive, though, is definitely... I mean, it's hard to fight them, and it's risky to let them live because they're both really good fraggers.
Yeah, they're just not in a great situation. Dave is able to pick up 9 as well. This is just coming down to a 2-on-5. I don't think any of the defenders is even taking any damage. There you go. Dave finally took some damage, but he took out Mailman in the process. It's all up to Wraith to finish this off. There you go. Wraith finally takes down Moss. They know exactly where he is. It's a 1-on-4 situation with about 30 seconds left. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be it for Unbroken on
he's not looking
Chalet.
to the right.
He's not even looking where he should be. He's holding a
He's
different
got
angle,
him.
but he does still
Oh.
be able to pick up Dave. That's one. Thinking he comes around the corner and trades it away. Wraith actually picked up another one. King Leo.
King Leo.
So
The
he was able to
Claymore.
pick up 3. It was a 1v5 situation. He picked up 3. So, hey, I'll give it to
Yeah.
him. Not too bad, honestly.
Not too bad. I mean, unfortunately, that doesn't matter as now the map's over, but it was still a good effort.
Yeah, for sure. You know, can't really fault him for that at all. So that's going to be your first map. So let's look at the scores. Yeah, nothing too unusual. Most of them Unbroken, you know, definitely pulled their weight. I think once they get a little bit more used to working with each other, they could be in a better situation.
I hope so. I definitely think it's a good debut for them playing against such a tough team. Like, you don't expect them to get a ton of frags. So it's like, it's not a big deal if they don't win it. And this is something where they're going to learn a lot more than play. So I hope it works out for them.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right on back. Stick around. Alrighty, we are back. Week 5, Day 9. Unbroken versus Ferocity eSports. So far, Ferocity is up by 1 right now. And we should be ready to get right on into the next match. Excuse me. So, what do you think? What are your predictions for Kafe?
Well, as we talked about earlier, you can pug a little bit more in this one. So, I mean, I feel like it comes down to, like, for example, if they can kill Moss early, Unbroken might have a bit more of a chance. Not that the rest of the team isn't great, but like if you leave Moss alive in a situation where it's like a frag heavy map, I feel like you're in a bad spot. So I feel like that's what's going to come down to. We're going to see a lot of this bar cocktail lounge, of course, and then occasionally train room. But Moss is going to be going on that caviar room, probably all the way down in a bakery. He's going to be playing that still. Looks like he's still indecisive on it. Or changing his no, gonna go with Pulse.
No, Moss, why'd you do this to us?
Next time.
Maybe next time, but looks like 9. We'll be on the Montang. Interesting. Now Twitch also being brought out to help counter that Mira, so at least they kind of know what they want to do. You know, so it's not a complete pug.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Both the Blackbeard and Montang. That's a very shield-heavy lineup, but
yeah.
We'll have to see. I do agree with you. I still think with the Moss on the Pulse, I do agree with going Pulse over Caviar, only because if Unbroken manages to get into the site, you can prevent them from planting with that C4 from underneath. You know, pair that up with King Leo downstairs. I think they'll have a pretty good pair / duo downstairs.
Yeah, it should be good. We'll see, though. We haven't really seen these teams how they play this just yet, though. It looks like they're going for a pretty conventional setup here with the Thinking Nade setting up the mirror windows in the bathroom, having it open to be able to cross in the freezer. It's all pretty standard setup for the moment in the current meta. I like when they do the split like this so that they can kind of go between the two, as opposed to just putting both on bathroom wall.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways you can put it. You know, you can either put both in bathroom wall, you can split it like this, or you can actually put them both in freezer. Don't really agree with that one as much because it could be shot from Skylight. But I think that's going to be, this is currently like the favorite per se, so we'll have to see if Unbroken actually has a plan for this or not. Of course, you know, they do have that Montang, so that tells me that they should know kind of what they want to do. You know, so hopefully they're not just going to be running around guessing. Maybe they took the 5-minute break to come up with a strat.
Yeah, well, we know where Montaigne wants to go.
Yeah.
He's making that very clear.
Yes, they're going to be trying to drop into red stairs now. Of course, Ticket Booth is reinforced, so they might even have to waste a Hibana on that. But do you use the Hibanas to get into Ticket Booth, or do you use them to open the mirrors? That's going to be the important question.
I would use them to open the mirrors, to be honest.
Just because
that makes... There we go. If you can pull that off. Here we go. Is he going to
get it? No, that barbed wire just stopped it.
Yep. He's going to go for round 2, though.
Round 2, maybe? Maybe? I don't think so. I don't like this at all, because I think Thinking Nate is ready for this.
I would
hope so. He's going to cut it close. Opens the one. Does he get the second one? No, he's not able to get the second one. But he gets he gets the more important one. That's going to be the one inside of bathroom.
Still worth it. I think it's worth it.
I would agree. I mean, maybe it would have done that the first time. Then you can use the second drone, maybe coming in from Skylight. That could have been maybe a little bit better of a way to do that. But, hey, gets the job done. Now they know that Thinking Nate's going to have a lot harder time. Here comes Moss on that Pulse. Just don't forget about him. He's going to be downstairs. He's going to be looking to really try and toss the C4 up. Mailman picks up Dave. That's going to be the first kill of the map. Great start for Unbroken. Moss still below, trying to figure out where everyone's at. Making the call-outs. Look like Unbroken's going pretty heavy towards bathroom right now. Using this Montang to just kind of body their way up into where they want to go.
I like how he's pushed like Mirror completely out of the bathroom thanks to the window.
Like this gets caught. Will he get him? Yep, Potato does get Thinking Nade. That's 2 down for Ferocity. This is an interesting start. Something that definitely we weren't quite expecting. Trippin's able to trade it back onto Potato. Brings it to a 4-on-3 in favor of Unbroken, actually. Here comes Wraith with the drop shot. Gets him. There you go, Wraith taking up Trippin, but here comes King Leo taking up Mailman. And all of a sudden, now we still have Mass and King Leo downstairs. Looks like he had to hop out to get that kill. Almost got it. So where is Moss? Moss with the Pulse. Going to be trying to find that C4. Trying to find that planter. Where's that planter going to go? Skadoosh is now planting inside of A. Does Moss have any idea? He does have an idea, but he's sitting on the hatch. You're not going to be able to C4 this. I don't think. Yep. C4 is not going to be able to get it, but wait, defenders win. It was on the reinforcement.
I think that's... Oh, it's because it's planted on hatch. That's why you don't plant on hatches.
Yeah, but it was on a reinforcement.
It's a glitch.
What?
Yeah, that's a glitch having to do with the hatches, the reinforced hatches, causing problems, making it think it drops because the other layer was removed by the C4, so it causes a problem with how it's sitting on the double layers. So
Well, Operation Health, please.
yeah, that's why you don't plant hatches is risky because of bugs like that. I mean, that was definitely a bug, but yeah, that's unfortunate. So I don't know if we're rehosting for that.
I'm
or what.
actually really confused now. Like, how does
Yeah,
that even happen?
So like that used to be a thing, but people stopped planting on hatches for the most part, so you didn't see it as often. But that
Yeah.
even used to be a thing on canal pillbox. People planting on that hatch used to bug out occasionally, and so people stopped planting on that for that reason. But it looks like there's still, no one really fixed the problems with it.
Yeah, so
because people stopped planting on it.
I think we're gonna have to have like an admin decision here, because that one, I mean, they did have the huge man advantage there, and they had the bomb down. So I mean, honestly, I feel like they would have won that round.
To be fair, I would give it to them, but at the same time, like, the easier solution is just to replay that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to send it to the booth.
But it was
for
such a
review.
good start for Unbroken.
It really was, honestly. They did a very, very
I kind
good
of want
job.
to. I wish we could give it to them either way, just because like they've had a hard time against Ferocity, and they played really well that first round. I feel like they deserve that one off the man advantage there. I mean, they were clearly going to win that for the most part. I mean, yeah, there's clutches still. Don't get me wrong, but I think there was a good chance they were actually going to hold that and win it. But I don't know. It's admin decision, so.
Yeah,
Not sure
so
how that's going to roll
we're
out.
gonna go ahead and take a short 5-minute break. Hopefully the admins can catch up and review the situation. So go ahead and stick around, and we'll hopefully get right on back to it. So this is gonna be week 5, day 9, map number 2 in the Unbroken versus Ferocity series. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so now we are back. The admins have looked over the clip. They have decided that we will be going with the minute and 30-second rule. Emza, what does that entail?
Essentially, the idea is that we replay the match, but with only the people who were alive after or at the time of the rehost, basically. So in this situation, it would be a 3v2 with the man advantage in Unbroken's favor. There's some confusion over what they're allowed to do before they TK their teammates, as in, like, are we allowed to do our reinforcements? Are they allowed to? The big confusion too was, are we allowed to open the hatch, the hatch that they drop down? Because it's a situation where the guy who is dead is the one who opened the hatch, and they don't have any other way to open it. So it's a little bit strange. I think I don't know. We may have to kind of try and figure out a better way to work this rule just to avoid confusion. But it is the current rule in the rule book at the moment is to implement this. So if there's a glitch after minute 30, we implement this rule, and that's generally the thing. And we've rarely had to apply it, so that makes it extra confusing. So
yeah, I agree. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of some TKs here. A couple other things just going on around. Don't worry about that, guys. That's totally normal in this rehost. As Emza was saying, we will be always looking for better ways to do it, so always give your feedback. What do you think better ways to do it? We are always open to suggestions, so here we go.
This should be interesting.
This is going to be an interesting round indeed. I think this is going to be the first time that we've seen we had to use the 130 rule, so I don't know exactly how this is. Hopefully it works out fine. They've been told to reinforce the same exact way, same exact things. Of course, that infamous hatch over on A has been reinforced, and it should end up coming down to, I believe, King Leo and Moss. I'm not sure who is still alive on the attackers, but we'll have to see. Maybe they'll even open up the mirrors for them. But they will be playing out the full round once the end of the prep phase is done. So hopefully we'll be seeing them kill themselves off, and they're going to be playing out a full 3-minute round. A completely full 3-minute round. So that's going to be the big thing. Yeah, so there goes Think and Nade. Dave
oh no!
kills off Trick
Thanks
and
for putting the wall up. Now you die.
Wraith kills Potato. Alright, well, so that's going to be 3.
Yeah.
Dave, I guess, doesn't know how to kill himself. Looks like
He'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They didn't get to open the hatch? Rip. Dave's like, screw it. This is going to be
This is
interesting
kind of
round.
weird. Alright, so now...
So yeah, there's still confusion. He's supposed to open the hatch before he got TK'd, but I think he forgot or whatever.
Yeah, so it should be King Leo versus King Leo and Moss versus whoever was left. I think they're just gonna go ahead and open up the hatch and then TK the fourth person. So it should be a 3-on-2 once this is all said and done. Looks like they're just gonna breach charge him. He's gonna maybe even stand on his breach charge. So there you go.
There we go. What a champ.
So now the match should be kind of where we are at now. I mean, 1 minute and 50 left. It is now going to be a 3v2 up to King Leo and Moss. Honestly, I do think this is definitely favoring Ferocity, especially because King Leo and Moss are both downstairs the last time this happened. But here we go. It is going to be an interesting round. All right, so we do have now King Leo is in white, but he didn't see him. 9 didn't quite see King Leo laying there, so when he turned to go into bathroom, he's going to get taken out. So now it's back to a 2-on-2. Skadoosh is able to trade back onto King Leo. King Leo is now downed. Does Skadoosh realize that he does now realize it's going to take him out? Brings it to a 2-on-1 versus Moss with a minute and 9 minute remaining. Moss is able to pick up Skadoosh. Now he realizes that he's close, but Moss is able to pick up Wraith as well. He went for the wide peak and was able to pick it up. Wraith just wasn't quite ready for it. So I guess that's going to be the first round going to Ferocity.
Well, that was interesting.
That was very interesting. I would agree. So I guess a little bit more onto the explanation behind why this is the way it is because we don't want to just give a free round to Unbroken, just because, you know, Ferocity did have that opportunity to clutch it back. I mean, so this is kind of like the best way that we've found so far to really kind of allow both teams the same opportunity to finish out the round. Obviously, I do, in my opinion, think that Unbroken should have been able to finish that out. But like, we can't always put out King Leo and Moss, you know, those two very good fraggers. So this is the best way to kind of allow both teams to, I guess, prove themselves, I guess is a way to put it, and keep it as fair as possible. But this is all a learning experience for us all, so just you have to stick with us and give us your feedback as it comes.
Oh well,
Yep.
was an interesting round to say the least. I still give it to Unbroken. I think they played it really well, and had it kept going, I think they would have won.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but it was also kind of better than just straight up restarting the round too. Like, because if you're that far in, would you rather have a 3v2 situation or a full round restart, which is, I believe, what ESL does. So, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, we haven't quite figured it out completely yet, or if they should just, you know, run with the bugs. But that's something that we're always working on, I guess you can say.
Hey, this is the first season, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. So, getting right on into the next round. Here comes Ferocity. I love Days Famas with a suppressor and a red dot. Just such a unique combination. King Leo now has got Wraith up and into a corner. Into, I believe that is ticket booth. He's just going to be holding, or no, excuse me, that is over by white spot. Yep, there's Wraith just kind of chilling. He had him there, but decided, you know, not really worth pressuring him. Mailman does have both those mirrors set up. A little bit different from what Ferocity did. There is no center, like, divider. It's just a straight hole in between them. So, definitely an interesting change-up. Now, Dave on the Twitch is going to try to send a drone through. Realizes it gets spotted by Wraith. Wraith is able to pick it up finally. He missed the first couple of shots, but he did redeem himself. Other than that, not too much going on, honestly. You know, a minute and 35, I definitely expect a lot more to be happening at this stage in the game. Alrighty, so looks like Blackbeard is now going to be on that west wall, just kind of looking for a little bit of a way into Piano. They still have not really even done anything to get into Piano. They've opened up a couple of windows, no kills yet, and there's only a minute remaining. I feel like Ferocity is definitely going much slower than what they should be. You know, about this time, he should definitely be already in. Speaking of already in, here comes Trippin. He's now into ticket booth. Wraith goes for the peek, but he's able to get it off. Yep, looks like Wraith will be able to stop a lot of these.
Not all of them.
1, 2.
Oh,
no, he just missed it.
Left.
He's just a little bit, just too slow. Mailman is going to be losing one of them. 9's able to pick up Moss. King Leo is able to get it back onto Skadoosh. 9 was able to pick it onto King Leo as well. This looks like this is going to be an Unbroken round. Trippin now hopping out. Both King Leo, or excuse me, Thinking Nade and Trippin are now both back outside. 30 seconds left. Here comes in Thinking Nade coming into Piano. He's going to get spammed from Mailman, who is inside of Freezer behind that mirror still. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on him. Trippin has now gotten back up into ticket booth. One's in white spot. There goes Blackbeard's shield. That's going to be from Cigar. Wraith is able to pick up one. Potato is able to pick up the other. That's going to be a 1-1.
Well, that was a nice from Unbroken. I mean, they might have also won the first round had they not had the glitch issue. So I think this is, I'm going to say, a little bit more their map than the last one for sure. Like, at least it seems like they have a little bit more potential on it. They're playing it a bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know.
They looked a lot more solid. I don't know. Maybe Effie was just kind of thrown off by that whole recreation of the round situation. So, I mean, maybe we can chalk it up to that. But maybe actually Unbroken was able to, really hold that really well. I'm honestly surprised that they weren't able to get Wraith out of that white corner. Because King Leo had Wraith pinned in there. All he needed to do was just nade, maybe just clear ADSs and nade. So I feel like Ferocity definitely could have done a lot better. But maybe they're not as prepared on the map. Well, we just don't know yet.
I don't know. I feel like you said, their rhythm got a little bit thrown by that rehost and the recreation rule. It was a little bit confusing, so I'm sure their rhythm was a little bit interrupted. This is a little bit harder site to defend too, so I'm curious to see if this is good, if they're going to be able to get their stride back, or if they're going to get a little bit on kind of a tilted streak.
I'm going to have to give the advantage probably to Ferocity here, only because the roam game has just been doing so well throughout all this series. I don't think that Unbroken is really coordinated enough yet to really be able to deal with a roam like that. So that's why I kind of think that Ferocity should be able to take this. But Unbroken, they have shown, on that last defense, hey, we don't have to be as coordinated, but we can still win our aim duels. So that was kind of important to note.
We'll see how this attack goes this time since this is the first time we're seeing this bomb site. Should be interesting.
Yeah, they've got the pulse. I almost thought the Trippin was going to shoot.
Yeah, I thought he was going to shoot him too.
He was just kind of holding that angle, like, all right.
He probably had to kind of barely stop his finger at the last moment. You start building up those reflexes. It's hard not to TK sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Now they do have two members of Ferocity upstairs, while Unbroken starts to move in. 2 minutes and 15. I still don't think they've gotten the red hatch, or maybe they're just now getting it. Definitely could be a little bit faster on that, just to save all the time that they can. Male just on the Blackbeard looking into the site. Nothing too unusual. The only thing unusual is that there is 3 players in sight, honestly. That seems to be a little interesting. Maybe we'll see a C4 out of Thinking Nade. Here it comes. Mailman knows when to run away. Doesn't even take a little bit of damage. Yeah, he did know when to run away. Great game sense from him, knowing that C4 could be coming. So they have now dropped into Red Hatch and into Ticket Booth. That's going to be 9. Wraith is also on red. So they take heavy presence over on these red stairs and towards and into the site. Here comes Potate, able to pick up King Leo. Now that was 1 on the roam. Potate probably dropped down into Skyline and was able to pick up him. Now we have Moss. He's downstairs inside of Library, doing pretty good. The attackers have now all taken upstairs. They've got the hatch open. They do have that buck, so they can really start to work the site, make sure they can get kills from above. Remember, Thinking Nade does not have a C4 left, so even though he sees all these little red dots flying around everywhere, he's going to get heavily pressured, and he cannot do anything about it. He's very heavily focused on Mailman outside, when in reality, the real pressure is coming in from above. It's going to be a minute left. Dave was able to pick up Skadoosh. Skadoosh was going for a wide peek. Not sure where Dave was. Must have been in B site and got the pick from above, as you saw. Looks like there's a lot of heavy pressure going around.
1 down on either side. So.
Yep, Thinking Nade was actually able to pick up Mailman. There goes down. Wraith picked up by Moss is now down to a 2-on-4. Unbroken started out just so well. Thinking Nade is stuck in the corner. He's going to get down by Potato. I don't know if Potato knows that he killed him. Good job from him. It's all up to 9 and Potato with 30 seconds left. In the 2v3, they can still do this. Moss is kind of outside the site. Maybe even rotating up. I'm not sure if 9's going to be ready for this, as Moss is... No, excuse me, not Moss. Who is rotating around? Someone is. Looks like that would be Dave. He decided to jump on out and around. Wow, what an interesting flank. But Thinking Nade is going to get picked back up. That's because Potato didn't really realize that he downed him. So they've rotated all the way around, not knowing that he downed Thinking Nade. With 5 seconds left, I think the time is just going to run out with nothing going to be happening. Potato just looking for the kills. Not going to be able to find him. 9 jumping down the hatch. Moss is actually able to pick up Potato right before the round ended.
Nicely done. I mean, it was unfortunate not being able to finish off Thinking Nade at least. That brought it to a 4v2, which was definitely a much worse situation than a 2v3. So, nice try though. I thought Unbroken had a good start, but they seemed to lose momentum and all the flanks coming out from FE. Like you said, the roam game from their part, just nicely done. Just flanking around from all different sides. They really didn't, like they lost kind of the spearhead of their attack due to that. And started falling apart all after that.
Yeah, I completely agree. As much as as much as I was rooting for Unbroken, you know, Frosty did a great job getting back on up and around. Dave, what an interesting way to get back to your teammate. You know, he ran all the way up white stairs, went all the way across, didn't even try to engage onto 9 to Buck, who was also upstairs, and he jumped out of, I guess, Tekkit booth, and then he jumped down and into sight to pick him up. Something that you really don't think that you'd be seeing. Instead, you just kind of expect him to run up through the site, but oh well. So now we're going to be on to round number 4. This is map number 2 of the series. Map 1 did, of course, go to Ferocity, so this is going to be, Ferocity wins that. This is going to be the series. Looks like Unbroken is now reinforcing, or they're playing downstairs, but they are reinforcing upstairs a little bit, you know, just kind of making sure they can hold it. This is a much more strict setup than what Ferocity was running. Ferocity just kind of went upstairs and just kind of chillaxed, but Unbroken's actually doing a full roll of reinforcement.
We'll see if they're able to hold this. I mean, they played pretty well the last time on their defense, but the thing is they're defending a different bomb site now. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold it as well because they have to split up their defense more so than usual. But I like that at least they're trying with this pulse here. It should be interesting. But I'm feeling there's going to be a lot of attack coming down on to Piano Room here to take that top floor as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit of a C4. Whoa. A little bit of a miss there from Potato. He
Slightly
potatoed pretty hard. Oh, no. He is taken off by Thinking Nade. Thinking Nade taking the head off of Potato just for missing that C4. That's what you can attribute that one to. I think he got a little bit panicked when he missed his C4. I think that if he had just kind of stayed inside his cigar, he would have been just fine. But he decided to push off and got picked for it. But Unbroken with that is still upstairs. Whoa, fuse charge almost right into bathroom. Surprised that 9 was actually able to get away without getting taken out there. Dave on the fuse, applying pressure.
See if Wraith can catch anyone dropping. They might actually go for a drop here. It's something we haven't seen for a while. But I always like a drop into there and just try to go for the plant if they can.
Yeah, Dave just kind of trying to trade some bullet towards Wraith. Not going to be able to find it just yet. You know, maybe a little bit in the future. Dave is continuing to shoot. I believe, Moss just went and dropped down into Skyla. I was just about to mention that. So that's going to take off Wraith. Now, the attackers now have control of the upstairs. You know, they've gotten the mirror out. 9 has rotated all the way back downstairs. Brings it to a 5 on 3. Not looking good. King Leo opened the hatch right onto 9. Will be able to pick it up. That brings it to a 5 on 2. This is not looking good. This is going to potentially put it to a 3 to 1. In favor of Ferocity. It is still anyone's round so far, but I'd have to say that the Ferocity is still.
I'd say it's Ferocity's round.
Yeah, especially with these fuses. You know, right as I said that, I was like, no, here comes the fuses. We'll see if Dave realizes where he is. Skadoosh is currently inside of B. Neman is inside of train. He's able to pick out Moss rushing forward. Dave is above the hatch, just looking for something to find. Thinking Nade pushes out. It looks like he's right at the doorway, getting ready to push out into sight. Now, Memon still does have that C4, as you just saw, but here comes the flashes out from, I believe, Dave from above, and here comes Dave coming in. Memon is still blind as a bat. He can't find anything, but King Leo nades Dave, so now it brings it to a 3 on 1, all to Skadoosh. But as I say that, he's going to get taken out by King Leo.
At least King Leo made up for nading Dave. Right after Dave gets a kill, too. Thanks for the kill, Dave. I got a gift for you.
Yeah, for sure, honestly. I think the little bit of uncoordination, Dave just decided to rush him while King Leo was like, nah, I'm going to throw a nade at him. And,
yeah, it looked a little panicky.
Yeah, when an unmovable object moves an unstoppable force, Dave gets the short end of the stick. So
Still, not a bad round, though.
Yeah, of course. Now we will be going back up to the original round with the bar cocktail, Unbroken on the attack, Ferocity on the defense. What is Moss up to? Now, he did decide to go Doc over a pulse. Why do you think he decided to do that?
I think he wants to be able to maybe even roam a bit and stay alive. Just be able to heal himself up, or maybe even go for peaks. It's hard to say. I mean, I always think Doc picks are a little weird. I think it was me and you that discussed it before, that you were more in favor of Doc picks than me. That I was kind of a much bigger fan of Rook over a Doc for a variety of reasons. But I don't see the kills a lot of times coming out from Docs. I feel like they don't get the heals that they need to a lot of times, and they just, I don't know. I don't see the utility there other than maybe a shield or something. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if Moss can do something with it. I'm not a big fan of the Doc picks, but I imagine Moss is picking it for a reason. He's not exactly a dummy. I imagine he's got some ideas here, but I'd like to see what those are.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It really, for me, it depends on the situation. Where in a situation like this, where that pulse underneath can just do so well, I feel like, why not just run the pulse? It won them last round. I mean, you can have that pulse underneath. You can C4 the planter. Hopefully, they're not standing on a hatch. But if you get that C4 off, that can do a lot of things. Where in reality, all of a sudden now we have a dock where, okay, well, now you can heal people if the chance arises, which means to really get great value out of him, he's gonna have to stay upstairs, and not really roam. So I feel like it kind of depends. Now when it comes to Rook versus Doc, ooh, a little bit of a big chunk coming off of Dave. Now here comes Moss. Now Moss should be. Oh, excuse me. Here goes down thinking Nate. He decides he wants to peek. Potato is still up there. Now Reza was about to explain. Now Moss should be able to heal Dave up. Yep, there it goes. Dave gets 2 stims so far, so that's gonna heal back up to Dave, back to where they were. A little bit of a twister going in. So as I was saying, a Rook versus a Doc, it kind of really depends because Rook, you guarantee value, whereas Doc, you don't guarantee that value.
Exactly.
Like if you get picked off for say as a Doc, you zero value out of you. But if you get picked off early as a Rook, okay, well your plates are still there. So it really kind of depends. And also in the world of headshots, can Doc really do that much? So I feel like in certain maps where there's going to be heavy grenade situations, such as like Canal, like if you're hiding in like servers or something where you're going to get naded all the time, yeah, sure, Doc, maybe it's worth it there because you can pick yourself up. Or if you're on Trophy where you're going to get naded from below on Chalet, sure, why not? But in this, I just don't really agree with this at all.
Yeah, no, I feel exactly the same way. That's the way I see it is in terms of whether or not you pick an operator, there's a cost to doing that in terms of not picking another operator. And you really need, like, every bit of utility you can.
Ooh, there we go. Trippin's able to pick up Potato. Wraith is able to pick up King Leo, but there goes Moss taking down 9. That was on the Montang. Brings it to a 3-on-3. Same exact situation we had last time. Trippin is still inside of Freezer right now. There's 2 inside of Freezer, and then 1 on, looks like White Hallway door. So this is going to be pretty hard. Skadoosh goes out for the wide peak. Going to get picked up by Trippin, yes indeed. So that brings it down to a 2-on-3 in favor of Ferocity. Wraith is being forced to push up white stairs. Mailman is, looks like on the A windows right now. Moss is able to pick up Wraith, brings it all down to Mailman. He's going to hop inside of A. There he is now. He picks up the feet of 1. Isn't quite able to get it picked up. His shield goes down. He's able to trade it back onto Dave. But here comes Trippin coming around the side of the bomb to pick up Mailman.
I like the slow motion drop shot there, too. He's like, flies down.
Super slow, it looks fast here, but definitely slow. Well, at least on what we saw.
That was like the closest situation to the one we were trying to recreate earlier, you said. And that case, it definitely went in the favor of the defenders, but the diffuser didn't get planted on the hatch, so. But it was still a good one. Unfortunately, we're looking like a similar situation to last map where it's match point here against a 1 point from Unbroken, but this is kind of their debut, sort of. I mean, I know Guilty was here before. But, they haven't had a lot of time to practice. And again, I think this is a great learning experience from them. Regardless of how this goes, if they lose this next round, whatever, I expect good things from them in the future. And I do think Kafe is actually a pretty good map for them. Because even when a lot of the ones they've lost have been pretty close. So.
Yeah, I know, I agree. And I think there's a lot of small things that they need to pick up on, like on Chalet, and they didn't open up, the holes for Blackbeard that they needed to. And I feel like that just comes down to, teamwork. As I was saying, I talked to him before the match, and, hey, we only practiced two maps, honestly, 2 individual maps last night. Those are their only practice. So the fact that they picked up 2 rounds out of these 2 games, I feel like they're doing pretty well for what they've proven and what they've shown that they can do, honestly. So they're already doing better. They wanted to go 10-1, but looks like they're going to be going at least 10-2, maybe even more if they can pick this up.
Yeah, I hope they can. I hope they can get it again. Like I said last time, I'd like to see one more round out of them. It goes to 5, if possible, but you never know. It's definitely going to be a little bit of an uphill battle here with how the defense is, or how the attack has been from Ferocity. It's not an easy defense anymore once they've got it figured out, but you never know. Oh, there's a good start, though.
Potato taking out King Leo. That's definitely a good start. Maybe a little bit of a cheeky spawn peek off the start, maybe down in garage. Great job from him. That's kind of what they needed to start off this round, throw Ferocity on the back foot, go ahead, try that, I think they're doing pretty good so far.
At least they had a backup breach charge there.
Yeah, that's for sure, Interesting little setup with the ADSs. That's going to go ahead and get taken right out. Surprised there's no one trying to defend those from that Twitch drone. Speaking Speaking of Tristan, the kid
bad
gets
for Mira.
off one of the mirrors. That's actually the more important one, honestly. Well, they both are pretty important, but getting that one, especially making it sure that they can cut off different
Going for a
angles.
second
Here
try.
comes in the second one, just barely misses it, unable to pick up the second one. But that's going to be one open, one out of the two, still pretty good. Trippin's still alive. You know, he can open up the second one as well. So I think they're in a good situation right now. Now, what do we have here? Looks like we have a
Good
triple,
drop.
a
Yep, they're
triple
going for
quick drop onto Skylight.
Yay.
They're waiting
This is what
for
I
it.
wanna
Here it
see. Here we
comes.
go.
Dave drops. He's going to pre-fire absolutely nothing. Here comes the rest of the people. Look at this. They've casted off both doors. There should be a pretty quick plant. Where's the diffuser? I don't know where the diffuser is. Here comes Davey. Picks up Skadoosh. Pulls around. Picks up 9 as well. Thinking Nate on the other side. Picks up Potato. I think this is just Ferocity saying, nope, this is going to be our round. But right as I say that, Mailman trades it back onto Dave. Brings it to a 2-on-2, actually. This is not too bad. You know, Unbroken could bring this back, honestly. You know, you do have Mailman. You know, Thinking Nate is just coming up. Moss is still upstairs. Make sure there's no ADSs. There are none, of course. They're just going to do a little bit of droning. They're doing pretty good so far. Wraith gets droned out, so he's going to get pushed back. I'm kind of surprised. Where was the diffuser when they triple dropped like that?
Yeah.
Moss
I thought,
actually picks up Wraith too, so that's not really quite unfortunate. It's all up to Mailman. He's back onto the A site all the way back here with the hollow, so this is going to be pretty difficult. Thinking Nate's going to drone him out, so they know where he is. They know what they need to do. Moss is going to go around to White Stairs while Thinking Nate probably stays in Cigar. Here he goes. Thinking Nate is in. He is planting. He needs to be using that nitro, and he needs to get close, but he's not able to right now. Moss is pushed up, but Thinking Nate gets him as Mailman jumps up and off. That's going to be GG. That's going to be the series for Ferocity 2-0.
I definitely liked, what Unbroken had to show. Like, I know they're the underdogs. Because we know Ferocity's strong, right? So it's, the interesting thing to me was watching Unbroken play. But at the same time, like, I'm glad to see Ferocity haven't been slipping. Especially knowing that they go into Pro League next week. They definitely have to be on top of it. So this is good practice for them for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Unbroken have in the future. Some good matches. I still have yet to cast 3 maps. No matter who's playing, I can't seem to make it to 3 maps. It always goes a little bit one-sided. So one of these days, maybe before the end of the season. But it was definitely some good matches. Looking forward to that in the future as well. These guys playing hopefully a little bit better, hopefully learning from this. It's the nice thing about getting casted is they get a chance to see from the observer perspective, get some of our analysis, get some other ideas. So they'll be good. And Ferocity as well. They always have things to learn, new stuff to watch out for. So looking forward to that. And to next Wednesday when we have the next match. Obviously you have another match coming up here, but I'm in for myself.
Yeah, that's for sure. Speaking of next matchup, we will be having Dan Sucks versus Vertex Esports. Should be a much closer matchup in terms of what we've been seeing. Of course, this was pretty one-sided in favor of Ferocity. Like you were saying, Unbroken they did pretty well. I'll give it to them. They did. I definitely want to see more of them as they start to grow better as a team. Though they definitely should be coming back, looking at these VODs, realizing, all right, this is where we messed up. We need to do this, this, and this. And I think we've done a decent job trying to help them with that as much as possible. So, of course, looking forward to see more of them. This is Week 5, Day 9. That's the end of the first series in favor of Ferocity 2-0. My name is Talon. That's Emzo. Thanks for sticking around. Next matchup comes up.